Hello everybody, welcome. It's Eleanor here, coach for students. How are you all doing today? Well, it's Monday and I'm feeling really optimistic today. I don't know why, maybe it's a change in the weather and it's start of a whole new week and I'm just feeling kind of really raring to go and just kind of want to get on with it. So today I thought we'd talk about the upcoming lockdown. And I know a lot of people are really worried about it. I was watching the news earlier and kind of people talking about businesses and gyms and things like that, and everyone is getting really depressed and really miserable about what's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. So I thought we'd talk today about how we can actually make lockdown work for us. So you can, there's kind of two types of people, and if you think about, say, when you graduate, when you're applying for a new graduate job, and you're looking back over this time and your employer says, well, how did you cope with lockdown? How did you cope with the year of 2020? And there's going to be people who are going to say that basically my life was ruined, everything went horribly wrong, I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do, and it was just the whole year was a complete write-off. And there'll be people who say that sort of thing regardless of what's going on in their lives. Something will happen that's out of their control and that's it, they'll just give up and everything will stop, and that's it, they won't go any further. But there'll be the other sorts of people that just get on with it. They go, okay, I can't do anything about this. I'm going to make the best of it. What can I do to make the best of the situation? And so think about kind of end of the first year, looking back over what you've achieved over the first year at uni. Are you going to be able to say, well, actually, I watched a lot of Netflix? Or are you going to be able to say, actually, because there was nothing going on, I got top marks in all my subjects because I could really kind of get on with all my work. And so there was no reason for me not to study because I had no distractions. And so you can kind of look at it in those two different ways. So rather than looking at kind of that long-term kind of year at the moment, because we really have no idea what's going to be happening over the next few weeks and going into next year, just think about Christmas. So coming up towards the end of December, just think about your first term at uni, or even if you're in the second or third year, just think about that first term of this year. And just think about if you're then looking back over the winter term, what have I achieved? How far have I got? What have I done? And are you kind of that person that goes, oh, well, there was lockdown, I didn't really do anything, I just sat in my pajamas and watched TV all day? Or can you say, or would you be able to say, well, actually, I've done X, Y, and Z, and you can kind of list all the things that you've got on with. And so what are those things that you could be getting on with that you're likely to do? Don't set yourself something that's too ambitious that you know that actually you're not really going to be doing, but something that is fairly manageable, fairly doable, something that you really do want to be able to get on, and that when you kind of speak to friends and family kind of over the Christmas period, that you can say, well, actually, I've made it work for me, and I've done all of these different things, and actually I'm feeling pretty good about the next kind of few weeks and the kind of the spring and the summer terms, because actually I really made the most of it. So what are those things that you could be doing that will kind of keep you motivated, keep you engaged, and really kind of get you to be one of those people that really does make the most of whatever situation that you're in? It could be something that's really small. You could be just taking on a little project like just learning how to knit, for example. It could be nothing to do with your work, with your studies. It could be just something like picking up a new skill. It could be kind of like knitting or doing something kind of with arts and crafts, purely for your own joy, or maybe something that you could make that you then give to friends and family, as just little tokens of you enjoying making the most of lockdown. You could be doing something that's kind of social, something like helping out at a food bank. You could be maybe getting a few hours in at the local supermarket. They're always looking for people, even especially now at lockdown. There are lots of things that you can do to help people in the community. If you aren't shielding and if you are able to go out and help people, then that again is something that's it's really good for you. It's good for the community, and it gives you something to be engaged with and something to be proud of at the end of the year. And it's also something that will look great on your CV too. Let's not forget that. But it could just be something to do with your studies. If you haven't got any distractions, if you're not going to be out partying every single night, actually maybe could you get on with studies, read around the subject, take on a little bit of extra work, read that textbook that you were never normally going to read, but now, well, there's nothing else to do, so maybe start reading around the subject, maybe get a little bit ahead of yourself on things that you're studying. And the other thing to look at is also work experience. Now, I know a few people have kind of just completely written off the idea of work experience at the moment, but actually a company that I was working with over kind of September, October time, they ran a virtual work experience and they did it. They actually had so many applicants that they actually extended it and did an extra week of it because they had so many people interested. The entire thing was done on Zoom. And so why not just kind of contact an employer or someone that you might be interested in working with and say, let me just shadow you for a week, give me a little project to do so I can understand how your day works. We can do it all by Zoom. I haven't got to come and visit you. You don't have to do a risk assessment. There's no insurance. You haven't got to worry about all of that hassle that goes with being in work experience. But I could just kind of join in some meetings, take on a couple of tasks, get to know you, get to know the environment. And then maybe when it's all over, we could then have a face-to-face work experience. So there's all sorts of little things like that you could start looking into over the next few weeks, and really come up with something that you can go, actually, yeah, I'm proud that I did that. Come the Christmas holidays, you can go, yeah, I had a good first term. Despite everything, I made the most of it and I got on with it and I've had a really good term. So have a think. Let me know. Do comment in the place below here in the comments. Do like, do share, and just let me know how you get on. Great, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.